Foreign cast members in the 90 Day Fiancé franchise are often accused of being gold diggers who are only interested in their American partner's cash, but some of them have turned out to be the more sympathetic half of the couple. These franchise stars have fans siding with them because their partners are so much worse. Though many 90 Day Fiancé cast members love to play the victim, fans have a hard time cutting them slack when they purposefully seek out relationships with foreigners who are often upfront and obvious about the transactional nature of their relationship. In those situations, the so-called gold diggers are far less problematic than their partners. There have been several American cast members who felt used in their relationships with their foreign partners, but many of them overlooked major red flags that were pointed out to them by friends and family. In these instances, it's hard for fans to feel sorry for them, because those stars' poor decisions were made out of willful ignorance. In recent episodes of 90 Day Fiancé, before the 90 days, Jimena has been putting pressure on her American fiancé Mike Burke to pay for breast implants and a tummy tuck. She's clearly only interested in Mike for his money, but she's been pretty upfront with him about it. Jimena is always quick to tell Mike the things about him that irritate or disgust her, and she was honest with him about not being in love. Though Mike plays the victim, he's not an attractive partner, and it's a lot more than his appearance. He has little to offer a significant other, and is messy, clingy, and has gross habits. Many fans surprisingly side with Jimena and feel Mike should realize what he is getting into. At first, Robert Springs called Annie out for being materialistic, and it's true she appreciates the finer things. But sometimes Annie's expectations were pretty reasonable. When she first arrived in the US, Robert told Annie that he was going to treat her to a surprise, and then he took her shopping at a thrift store. There's nothing wrong with buying clothes from a second-hand store, but Robert had hyped Annie up for a fancy surprise shopping spree and then was upset when she was disappointed. It was fine for Robert to take his fiancée shopping for used clothes, but he shouldn't have acted like she would be getting the pretty woman treatment. It's true that Lana is a scammer. She keeps up a profile on a sketchy international dating website targeted at American men. But her former fiancé David Murphy went along with Lana's deception for way too long. David revealed he spent as much as $300,000 between trips to Ukraine, gifts and money for Lana, and the dating website's fees. Lana stood David up multiple times when he visited Ukraine to meet her in person, and she demonstrated that he was absolutely not a priority to her. However, David persisted, and fans say that's on him. The couple's relationship was completely transactional. The writing was on the wall, David just refused to read it. Related, 90 Day Fiancé. Stars who need to be cast on the Single Life Season 3 inches early episodes. Jasmine was painted as the stereotypical fiery, jealous Latina girlfriend who was very interested in the things Gino could buy her. Jasmine had a lot of demands about what she wanted life to be like when she got to America, and initially was criticized by fans. But viewers quickly learned that her boyfriend Gino Balot Solo is no prize, and Jasmine is practically a saint to put up with him. Gino gave Jasmine an electric toothbrush as a Christmas present, which she was surprisingly graceful about accepting, and Gino also sent private nude photos of Jasmine to an ex, violating her trust. Jasmine has put up with a lot of awful behavior from Gino, and though fans think she's an idiot for giving him so many chances, they have more sympathy for Jasmine than Gino. It's hard for fans to see Nikki as a predatory gold digger because she was just 19 when she came to the US to be with 58-year-old Mark Shoemaker. Mark demonstrated that he could be controlling and had unreasonable expectations, and viewers found their relationship to be creepy. Mark often infantilized Nikki and treated her like a child, and he compared her to his ex-wife. Mark has a clear pattern with young foreign women who are easy to control, and Nikki had no idea what she was getting into with Mark. The couple gives fans the ick, but they easily side with Nikki over Mark. Ed Brown's friends and family had a lot of doubts about his Filipino girlfriend Rose, and they thought she was using Ed for his money. But it turns out that it was Ed who was taking advantage of Rose. Ed felt he could get away with bad and insulting behavior because he could dangle money and a green card in front of Rose as incentive for being with him. However, Rose knew her self-worth and she called him out for the way he had been treating her. It was impossible not to root for Rose when she dumped him, and she's a strong and independent woman who fans love more than Ed. Yara definitely has expensive taste and expects her husband Jovi Dufresne to foot the bill for her extravagant lifestyle. But Jovi has his own issues too. When they were first together in the US, Jovi had a hard time shaking his partying ways. Jovi disrespected her and caused Yara a lot of stress, even after she got pregnant with their first child. It became clear that a lot of Yara's demands were pretty reasonable, like him not going to strip clubs and staying out all hours of the night multiple times a week. Jovi has become a good mom since the birth of Mila, and both her and Jovi have grown a lot, so Yara's gold digger status has been thrown out the window. Though they still sometimes get the gold digger label, these 90 Day Fiancé franchise stars are seen as more sympathetic than their significant others. That doesn't mean fans think they're all great people, but it's not completely their fault if their partners feel taken advantage of.